Hey guys, it's Nath Plays, back with another video. Today I've got a different kind of video for you. Today I'm going to be going through what I think are the top 10 best Pokemon to use in your playthrough of Pokemon Platinum. Now, obviously, the core of your team is going to be your starter. Though this won't count as a part of the top 10 list, I'm just going to say what I believe on each one. Now, Empoleon is bad for Gen 4. Its additional steel type means it's weak to more types than it resists, including types it would have been good against before, including ground, fighting, and now it takes neutral damage from fire. Meaning, if you want to go up against Flint with this thing, you're not very likely to, because his Sunny Day strategy will ruin your water type attacks, and you're most likely going to get taken out by his Infernape or a fire blasting Rapidash. Just an extra view on the matter as well, Empoleon steel type, this is another reason why Empoleon steel type hinders it instead of making it better. If you look at this learn set, the only steel type move it learns by level up is Metal Claw, which doesn't work very well considering Empoleon is a special attacker. Not just that, the only other steel type moves it can learn is Iron Defense via Move Tutor and Flash Cannon via TM. And I really do believe it was a step in the right direction, but it ended up just being a massive... Now, Torterra, on the other hand, does a bit better than Empoleon. At least this time it learns a good ground type move by level up. And the ground type really doesn't hinder it. It does give it a quad weakness to ice, so it might lose a tiny bit of compatibility in Wake's gym. But if you can survive an Ice Fang from his Floatzel, then you're good to go. Also, the Move Tutor can teach him some good moves. Like Outrage via Move Tutor is not bad. And to be fair, its TM moves aren't bad. I know it's a lot of rock, normal, grass and ground type moves, but really sometimes that's not a bad thing. Oh ho 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 ho. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Infernape is honestly the best starter Pokemon for a long time. I would go far to say that it could take on Mega Blaziken. Well, I know it couldn't, but just go with me here. Like, with 108 in both special and physical attack is insane. And that speed stat, which I cannot remember, don't at me, is extremely high. And I know the level up moves don't seem that good, but the real good stuff is the TM moves. Just look at these types. So many different types. It can learn U-turn. I know, like, lots of Pokemon can learn U-turn, but this is Generation 4. Now, after that tiny detour of Nath, yeah, don't at me. I do believe we still have a Flaming Monkey to talk about. I seriously cannot stress how good this guy is. just use him. Do I really need to explain myself anymore? It can literally destroy the first 2 gyms, and after that you'll have built up a decent team, including of the Pokemon I am about to say. Quick disclaimer, this list is in no particular order, so whatever Pokemon on this list, feel free to use, because it's not in order from worst to best, it's not in order from best to worst, it's just in order of the way I think and the way I thought these up. So number 10 is not the worst and number 1 is not the best, just to clear that. So now coming in at number 10 is the big bad boy Staraptor. Now Staraptor, normal flying type, it might seem like your average bird Pokemon, but when you look at 120 attack paired with 100 speed, you know you're in for a ride. Now, you might be thinking about Staraptor, well, yeah, it has a high attack stat, and yeah, it has a high speed stat, but does it have moves that complement that? Well, ask the person who decided to give this normal type bird an extremely powerful fighting type move. Like, seriously, close combat on Staraptor is broken, and when you pair that up with Brave Bird and Aerial Ace, it can be devastating. Move 2 can give it some good moves as well. Like Ominous Wind, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to live life on the edge and get your stats buffed, then go ahead. It can learn some good TM moves. Yep, it can learn U-turn as well. Now, I think I've made my point on Staraptor. It's good. Go use it. You need a fly. My old friend. So we meet again. Weavile, I'd probably say, is the best dark type you can get in Platinum and the best ice type you can get in Platinum. Seriously, if you want a dark or an ice type Pokemon, I could not recommend Weavile anymore. Weavile is so amazing. And yes, you only get Sneasel. Right before the 7th gym. And yes, the Razorclaw can only be found in Victory Road or as a hidden item in Cyrus's office. But it just does so good against the Elite Four. I mean, it can destroy Bertha, basically. It can also destroy Lucian. Not to mention, it can go toe-to-toe with Aaron. And the only person it would really struggle with would be Flint. Oh, also, you always need something for Cynthia's Garchomp, so don't tell me ice types are not useful. And then you go ahead, and it's basically a Staraptor with the 120 attack stat, except its speed is so much higher. Now, if we go on to the moveset, I'd recommend holding off on evolving Sneasel until level 35. So then upon evolution, it will learn Night Slash. Sneasel will not learn Night Slash at level 35. Sneasel will learn Slash at level 35. Or you could just level it up and go Move Relearner. Either way, but it's good to know that it has some good level up moves. I mean, Metal Claw's okay. It's not as good for coverage as it would be in further generations, as there's no fairy type. But still, it's good to deal with rock types. Night Slash is amazing stab move. it can learn Ice Punch via Move Tutor. And then just fill in the slot with whatever you want, really. Considering it doesn't go short on TM moves. If you really want to, you can give this thing Dig. Or Aerial Ace, or Brick Break. Seriously, Weavile and Staraptor, though they may seem very similar with the 120 attack stat, they could not be more different. They're both fast, hard-hitting physical attackers, yes, but they serve very different roles, and I would seriously recommend you.
Look at your derpy little face. Look at it. It's so derpy. It's all derpy.
Coming in at number 8 is Quagsire. Wooper can be found in the Safari Zone just before you attack the 4th gym. And to be fair, Quagsire is not bad. I mean, its stats have something to be desired, but it's with decent bulk. It can help out. I was stumbling over my words there a bit. I'd recommend getting the Water Absorb ability, so then you have 2 immunities to Electric and Water. And not to mention, you only have 1 weakness, which is Grass type. Evolving at level 20 isn't bad, meaning you only have to level up your Wooper by 1 level until you can get yourself a Quagsire. Now, that is great. Quagsire can really help out with Byron's gym and what was his name? The electric type gym leader. I was about to say Volkner. But it sounded too much like Faulkner, so I was like, that's not it. If you know his name, say it in the comment section below. So, yeah. Now, coming into a moveset, it will learn Earthquake at level 36, which I cannot stress how good that is. Even though it won't learn a good water type move till level 53 via level up, I will still say it's kind of worth the wait. Muddy Water's very good, and your team should be around that level by going into the Elite Four. But until then, I do recommend putting something like Surf on it. I do know you can't get Surf off of it, but until then, just have Surf and Water Pulse on it, and then replace Water Pulse with Muddy Water. Now, put Ice Punch on it as coverage, and you can really fill up that last slot with... Oh, wait, no, not that last slot. Okay, never mind. Okay, ideal moves that Muddy Water, Surf, Earthquake, and Ice Punch. Coming in at number 6 is Gallade. If you didn't choose Infernape as your starter, Gallade is a very good coverage for the fighting type. There will be another one to coverage with the fighting type, but I'll come to that later. Gallade also has the psychic type, which makes it a lot better. Because in this generation, Gardevoir is pure psychic type. No fairy, obviously. And fighting really fills it up. Now, 125 base attack is amazing. It's got okay bulk in its special defense stat. And really, what can you say about Gallade? It's good. Steadfast is amazing, meaning your speed goes up every time you're flinched. And let's get So now for the moveset, I recommend using the Move Relearner. Mainly because if you don't use the Move Relearner, you won't be able to get moves such as Leaf Blade and Night Slash. Those are good coverage moves. And then you get Psycho Cut at level 31, so you'll need the Move Relearner for that, because most likely your Curlier isn't gonna be level 31 when you get the Dawnstone. Close Combat at level 53, as I was saying, you'd want to wait for that. It's the same thing with Quagsire. But until then, I'd recommend getting Vacuum Wave, or Brick Break on this thing until you get Close Combat. Oh, and another upside, if I can go up, that is the fact that it can learn the elemental punches. So if you don't want Night Slash or Leaf Blade, don't know why you wouldn't, then Ice Punch and Fire Punch are good bets. You can either use Ice Punch or Thunder Punch. It doesn't really matter, but it's clear to say Gallade is one of the more diverse members of the team. It's very similar to Weavile, except it's not as fast and it hits just as hard, and it's bulkier. But apart from that, Gallade is absolutely amazing. Use it. Coming in at number 5, at the halfway point, is Garchomp. You can find Gabite in the hidden cave under Cycling Road, and if you're not about finding hidden areas, then you can always just wait till Victory Road and get yourself a Gabite. But who would do that? Who seriously would do that? I mean, you can get the Earthquake TM in the hidden cave under Cycling Road whilst you're getting your Gibble. So, in all honesty, I'd recommend finding the hidden cave. I'll have a tutorial or something on my channel soon of how to find the hidden cave. But until then, just trust me. Garchomp is amazing. If it wasn't amazing, why do you think so many people consider Cynthia as the hardest champion? Her Garchomp can sweep teams. Side note, that's also why you need a Weavile, so Garchomp doesn't sweep your team. So for the moveset, I recommend putting Dragon Claw or Dragon Rush, Earthquake, or Fire Blast, basically. And then you can fill the last slot in with anything. I recommend something such as Brick Break. But really, Garchomp's good. Although now it takes neutral damage from grass and water type attacks, really, you can send this thing in against almost everything. Apart from an ice type. Don't send this thing in against an ice type. If you send this thing in against an ice type, you are stupid. Coming in at number 4, we have Magmortar. Magmortar, what can I say about it? It's Magmar, which was already a decent Pokemon, elevated to the next level to make it amazing. That special attack stat is insane. Can you imagine fire blasting your rival into obliteration with this thing? If you can, use this thing. Its attack stat isn't bad either. 95, not bad. The speed is okay. 83, it can outspeed an Empoleon. It's good enough, I guess. Though it's only pure fire type, at least they got rid of its butt. Going on to the moveset, it can learn Thunder Punch via Move Relearner, which is good. It can learn Lava Plume via Level Up, which is amazing. Alongside Flamethrower and Fire Blast, it really depends what is more your style. But if I was going to recommend anything, it would be Flamethrower. Now, for tutor moves, you can also get Thunder Punch if you don't want to waste a heart scale and you have a bunch of shards. And fair play to you. You can also teach it Heat Wave if you want a tiny bit more power and you're willing to trade that for accuracy. But if you want that, just put Fire Blast on it instead of Heat Wave. Now, moves learned by TM are pretty good. Thunderbolt via TM is amazing, and that makes use of its special attack stat, so you don't need to worry about heart scales or shards. You can just get Surf on your way to get Magmortar or Magmar. Pick up the TM for Thunderbolt. It's really that easy. Then, I'd probably recommend teaching this thing something like not natural gift. Why did I say natural gift? I'd probably recommend teaching this thing something like Focus Blast. Sorry, I've got hiccups. I'd recommend teaching this thing something like Focus Blast. 3rd time's the charm, okay? Now, really, Magmortar is a really good special attacker, and use it if you don't want to use him first. Coming in at number 3, of course, is Lucario. Now, Lucario is a beast with amazing attack and special attack stats and decent speed. It can probably outspeed most things, along with dealing a lot of damage. And with 17 HP defense and special defense, it honestly can take some hits, even though it's weak to fire, ground and fighting. Really, you don't get this until the 6th gym. You get Riolu after you help Riley, and yeah, if you really want, you can really try to hatch the egg and get a Lucario before the 6th gym, so Lucario can help you out with all the steel types. But what I like to do is get the badge and then hatch Lucario so you can deal with Candace's ice types. Now, considering you get Lucario just before the 6th gym, it is possible for you to use it to take out the 6th and 7th gyms respectively. And the fact that it can learn Earthquake means it can help you take down the 8th gym. Lucario really does well against all the gyms you have access to whilst you have it. Trust me, even though it doesn't do well against 2 of the 4 Elite Four members, you surely can get past that. Now, Lucario evolves via Max Friendship on a Riolu. And most of the time, I get Max Friendship at level 20, meaning if that happens, you miss out on Bone Rush, an amazing ground type coverage move, which does 25 damage and can hit multiple times. Now, if you didn't want to use that heart scale on giving Magmortar Thunder Punch, use that heart scale on giving Lucario Bone Rush. Now, apart from that, I'd recommend giving it Swords Dance, Aura Sphere, and then via TM, give it Flash Cannon. Now, Lucario does so well against all the gym leaders, as I previously stated. It does good against Cynthia. You either do bad or good against Cynthia. There's no in between. You can either get swept by Cynthia or you can either sweep Cynthia. I retract that previous statement. That was a lie. Who's that Pokemon? Guess it by its stats. The answer to that question is Jolteon. Yeah, Jolteon. Who would have thought Jolteon would have 130 speed and 110 special attack? It is an electric fox thing. I don't know if it's a cat or if it's a puppo. So I don't want to call it anything. I'm just going to call it a fox thing. But I know it doesn't have 130 speed in Gen 4. They gave it 130 speed in Gen 6. But it's still very quick in Gen 4. And it still has its 110 special attack in Gen 4. The moveset I'm going to give it, as you will see in a minute, is going to really make use of that special attack stat. Now, you receive EV at level 20, meaning you miss out on Thundershock. But the Thunderstone is literally right around the corner. Like, after you beat the gym, in the next town you can get a Thunderstone. It's so amazing. And then on the route after that, you can find the TM for Shockwave. So I recommend just teaching it Shockwave. And then, of course, move to a moves. It can learn Signal Beam. I recommend teaching it Signal Beam. And honestly, I'd recommend Thunderbolt. So for a moveset, I'd recommend Double Kick, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, and Shadow Ball. You might be thinking, there's no coverage for ground types. But honestly, you don't need coverage for ground types with Jolteon. It will most likely outspeed a ground type, and most ground types in the game are part rock type, so Double Kick can take short work. So coming in at number 1, we have Togekiss. Now, obviously, it doesn't have the fairy type in Generation 4, so it's not as good as it was in Generation 4. But Serene Grace. Wow. Though Togekiss, all the moves Togekiss can learn by level up must be learnt by Move Relearner, I do recommend learning these moves by Move Relearner. Back in Gen 4, you'd get Stab off of Extreme Speed. Aura Sphere is a good coverage move. And remember how I said Serene Grace? Air/flinches with Serene Grace is like heaven. It's so good in competitive. It's so good in game. It is just so good. Use it. I'm begging you. Please use it. Now, move tutor moves. Ancient Power can be good if you really want to get your stats buffed, because Serene Grace is amazing. But moves learned by TM are good. I mean, Water Pulse, good. Shadow Ball, good. Shockwave, good. Flamethrower, good. These moves are good. It can learn Drain Punch. And yet I don't see any hands. Togekiss is so OP. Use it. So guys, without further ado, that is where I'm going to end off this top 10 best Pokemon to use in your playthrough of Pokemon Platinum. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I had lots of fun making it. That is true. In case you were wondering, I did have lots of fun making it. And one day I hope to do a playthrough including some of the Pokemon I've included on this list. If you did like this video, please do go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button and share this video with a friend. But without further ado, I've been Nath Play.